Go ahead. Hello.
Hi.
Welcome to My String of Pearls, episode
7?
No, it's 8.
8?
Episode 8.
Oh my goodness. Here we go.
Yay.
Yes.
My name is Myoka.
My name is Linda.
And Linda's my mom.
And Myoka's my daughter.
You can find us, or you can find me, I should say. I am on Ravelry as My String of Pearls. And we have an Instagram group as well. And I'm not even saying that right. Instagram page, my .string of pearls. And of course, I'll put that up on the bottom there for you.
Mm-hmm. And I am on Ravelry as L Pearl.
Yeah.
And I'm on Instagram as Linda Pearl Pearls.
And we have a Ravelry group as well, and it's under My String of Pearls. There's not a ton of action over there, but we do enjoy seeing questions and just a little commentary back and forth. And if you feel like that is the platform that you would like to connect with us on, we are happy to do that.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so nice that you came to join us and hang out with us for a few minutes, hour, whatever, wherever it goes.
Welcome to any of our returning viewers, and hello to any new viewers.
Yes.
I know we have quite a few new people, thanks to Gaina from Tales of Cuckoo.
Cuckoo Land.
Cuckoo Land, yes. So thanks,
and
Gaina.
Such a sweetheart. We just think you're adorable and
awesome.
So real and authentic. And we really appreciate that, Gaina.
And appreciated and enjoyed getting to know her kind of a little bit more of a personal level, messaging back and forth and whatnot. But we'll get into that a little bit later.
Yeah.
Before we start talking about our knitting and carry on with the podcast, just want you all to know that we are not ignoring what is happening in the world at this time. And we're present, we are learning, we are listening, and we care. And we want this to be a safe space for everyone to come to and to keep it light and relaxed, I guess.
Relaxed,
So
yes.
Thank you for being here, and thank you for everyone that is speaking and informing and educating in the ways that we are unable to.
We appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah. On that note, though, how is everybody doing? How are you?
I'm doing fine.
Okay.
Yes. I've been creating. I've been sewing. And how are you?
Well, I guess the elephant in the room is that we're not in a room, but we're together.
And we're together. We haven't, we've hung out together from time to time, but only got Mother's Day hugs, which was very, very special. So this is as close as we've been really here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the first podcast in a while that we have been together, not separate and not Zooming or whatnot. And we are actually in Mom's backyard.
Yes.
So I hope that the sound quality is good. We should have done a test run, actually.
Oh,
and
yes,
we might actually do that right now and come back in a second. We'll see. And there's a mosquito.
And we have a mosquito checking us out.
But I really hope our sound quality is good, that there might be a little bit of wind. You'll probably hear the birds. You might hear my dad.
Yeah, in the background over there chatting.
So we'll just give it a shot and we'll see here.
Yes.
Yeah.
So what have you been doing? I hope you've been doing some creative things like knitting, crocheting, creating beautiful meals, lovely meals, parenting. What else did I have in my mind?
Knitting, sewing.
Making masks, yes. I've been doing a lot of that. Yeah. And just encourage you to continue being creative. And being creative doesn't just necessarily mean with your hands. It's with your mind. Even being a parent, that's being creative. Encouraging your kids to do lots of different things. Go for it, guys. It's just really special that you have this extra time with your children. Enjoy this time, parents, and you can do it.
Well, and I think that a lot of people right now, too, are starting to get back into, well, we are anyway, starting to get back into
in Canada
normalcy a little bit. I guess I forgot to mention that where we're from. We're from...
Oh, yes.
Sorry. We are from a small town in the Okanagan of British Columbia, where COVID-19 was affected us a bit.
It has.
It has, not as much as in some areas. I've been off work for over 3 months now. I actually am starting back tomorrow, my first full day of work, and I'm a registered massage therapist, and so that looks very different right now. Of course, I'm touching people, and you can't keep that minimum required distance. So Mom has made me some masks. There's some pretty intense cleaning happening, which there already was, but even to another level. And a little bit anxious, a little bit not sure what to expect about this week.
Just have to go one patient at a time.
It is what it is, yeah.
Yeah.
I know Matt, my husband, really wants me to keep staying home. And I know I've definitely settled into the housewife life really easily.
Yeah, I've heard and seen her a lot more.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I've been working a little bit. I work for a company that's called Crescent Moon Duvet and Pillow Company, and it's alpaca wool.
Beautiful.
And it's gorgeous, and your sleep is so much better. So I've gone there. There's only a few of us that work there, so we we do social distancing. And I've gone there twice, maybe 3 times in the last 3 months, and I do a lot of piecework at home for that company. So if you're interested in some new bedding products,
I'll put the little thing at the bottom here.
Check out Crescent Moon. They are just awesome. And they are in a small shop community in the Okanagan as well. And they we send product all across Canada and all across the U.S. So check it out.
There's a couple different stores that carry their products, I guess you could see.
Yes, and you can see that on their website. Then you can go and feel in touch. Hopefully, if COVID is you can
COVID-friendly
do that.
visiting.
Yes, thank you. Yeah.
So, do you want to talk about what finished objects we are wearing?
Sure.
Go ahead.
So, what I'm wearing is a t-shirt. It's an Emmeline t-shirt. It is a raglan sleeved one.
We have to go a little bit closer
and
so
I'm
you can
going
see the detail.
Just stand up quickly so that you can see it.
Sort
this is hard. Go wrong way.
We can always put a couple of photos in. You're just
and
blowing
it's
out
just
a
white t-shirt, and it's very comfy. It's got a bit of a little fold over edge. Oh, there we go. A fold over edge on it. And it's just like a t-shirt that I had, and it's just worn out. So this is a replacement to that one. And it's comfy, not too hot. It's just right. So, and I've got another t-shirt dress coming down the pipe. So we'll share that with you when it's completed.
Some sewing. So Mom finished up my Emmeline tee that I was sewing. I want to say it was the last podcast. Maybe it was the one before. And I just didn't even think to bring it over. It's actually dirty in the wash right now. So
it's being
I
used.
couldn't show it.
Great. That's great.
I am wearing my finished. I'm just trying to show you off here with getting my bra straps intact. This is the Mirage by Shelly Anderson, and it's a Shibui knits. So I'll stand up so you can see here.
It's got 2 layers.
Yeah.
You can see it's got 2 layers there. This is a lighter layer under.
This is the mohair layer, and then you attach your fingering weight. It's hard to show you because we're really close to the camera right now, but I'm really happy with it.
It looks really comfy.
As I mentioned before, this was out of my sleeping whips. I want to say that's a good way to put
Sleeping whips, yeah.
Sleeping whips. It was a snoozing in the craft storage. I started this, I want to say maybe 2 or 3 years ago.
Yes.
And I loved it, and there was no reason that I just didn't keep knitting it other than it was winter and it was cold. And you know, when you put something down or you make a whip go to bed for a while, you just don't always remember where you're at. And it really was as simple as I had finished the back, and I had started on the bottom mohair part of the front. I think I had that much, and I just needed to keep going. The pattern itself gives you the option to have some sleeves if you want. I chose to go sleeveless because this is a comfortable tank for me to wear. I changed the pattern the way that I wanted to finish it. They offered a crochet edge to finish. I actually did the I-cord pick up and bind off.
That looks really good, and it gives it more stability too.
So I did it on both the sleeves and the neckline. And that's the same one that is offered in the City Limits pattern as well, I think. I put the link to... No, that's different. Sorry. I put the link to the one that I did in my Ravelry page. So all the information is going to be on there. And then I made the straps longer because I didn't want it to be too high on me. And I did a Kitchener stitch to join the front and the back on the top, just to have a nice seamless.
So it's invisible almost. Yeah, it's right there, but you can hardly tell.
I don't even think it's there.
There, is it back here?
Yeah.
Oh, That's great.
Yeah.
And it's a little bit of stability there, but it's really nice.
Yeah.
Very nice and
so smooth. I'm really happy with it. I really want to knit another one, actually, with a little bit of a cap sleeve or something that I could wear a little bit more appropriate to work.
Yeah. So if you haven't tried the I-cord bind off, you should give it a whirl. It works good. I've used it on other things as well.
Is it the same thing? Because this one I'd already finished, so I had to pick up all the way around and then bind off again. Does that, sorry, I'm tucking my sleeves in again here. I'm trying to be appropriate.
But you can use the I-cord bind off in several different edgings, whether it's on the bias, picking up stitches, or on the edge of the end of a sleeve.
You can choose how thick and how big you want your bind off to be, and I think this was a 3-stitch bind off. Hello, Copper. Yes.
Copper's coming to say hello.
A 3-stitch bind off, and you could do like a 4 or a 5 or whatever to be how big and thick you want it to be. Can you sit? Can you sit? Thank you. Good boy. And
so I have some. Oh, are you all done?
I'm just going to put my sweater on because it's a little bit chilly, and I wanted to show that.
And I'm going to show my next finished object because it's getting cool, and I'm going to put it on. This is my Suburban Rap, which I've kind of nicknamed my COVID Wrap. Because it's taken me a long time, but I've had the opportunity, Myoka, to continue and finish it all the way to the end. And this is a Hohi Locatelli Suburban Wrap. Isn't it lovely? And it was so interesting. The lace was the trickiest, but I got through it.
But look at that detail.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. And the colors.
I love these colors. And they're all colors by Color Adventure. Is a company.
So our local yarn store has in their basement, actually, they dye yarn.
So those are the colors I used, and we'll put that in the down bar or whatever.
Why don't we create a Ravelry page for you?
Okay, yes.
We'll do a project page, and we'll have all the information. And actually, this gray, I don't remember, it's called Raven, is actually Color Adventures as well.
Yes, so we're enjoyed Color Adventures this last while.
We love Camilla and the girls.
Not quite sure how this is going to go on. I was going to say,
how are you wearing it?
I'm going to wear it with a wrap it around because my shoulders are cold.
It's a bit chilly out here.
It is a little bit cool out here, so if it flops down, well, that'll be what happens.
And you have socks.
I have socks. I finished some socks that I have been working on.
And I didn't knit this sweater. This is a store-bought.
So these are my socks. I didn't even put them on the sock blockers, but you can see what they look like. It's a little flattened out, that heel. So these are called Sock Twin yarn. We'll put that information below. And this blue color here is from Amanda at Sweet Skein of Mine that she popped in with my last order. So I've really enjoyed that. And the color is a lot deeper than what you see, but it goes from light, the top, down to dark. And I have enough. Pardon me?
Just hold it farther back for your color. There you go.
And so I have probably enough for a shorty pair of socks. So we'll see where that goes with that yarn. So those are done. Yay.
Those are for you?
They're for me.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So
is that everything you have finished object-wise?
Yes, all finished objects. Okay.
So works in progress. As you saw in the beginning of the podcast, our usual introduction kind of gives you a glimpse into the lives, I should say, of what we do besides knitting. And I couldn't just sit and knit for months on end as much as I'd love to think that that's a good idea. So you'll see some cooking, some gardening, maybe some baking. So I have not done a ton of knitting. And it's hard to make a podcast. And I know someone had mentioned the other day they wish we podcast more often. And I just feel that I don't have a lot of knitting content always to share.
Especially now that spring has arrived and we're outside more and gardening and enjoying outdoors.
If you wanted to have a podcast of our gardening and our baking and cooking and whatnot, then gosh, I could be on here every day. So
you could be a vlogger.
I could vlog, although I don't know if I have time for that, especially being back to work now. But so I don't feel like I have a ton to share today in terms of knitting, but I do have.
So what's I do
have some.
works
so
in
this
progress.
Is
Yay.
very close to being done, and I'm trying to get it done. Pippin Pin is doing so this is the City Limits by Tennis Fiber Arts, Stanislava Lee. I'm sure that you have heard of this one already, and I have talked about it already. I'm in love with this knit.
Yes.
It's one of the first ones I've done with multiple colors that's not color work. And I guess I could show it.
Yeah, pop it up.
That's the front and the back. There we go. So
I
originally showed this with mohair. So I think I wasn't even split this for the sleeves yet. And I was holding mohair. So you hold 2 strands of fingering weight. And then you hold a strand of mohair if you like. And it just was getting too heavy, too thick.
It was quite dense. Yeah.
I didn't have the same color mohair throughout. And so it was changing a lot. And I could tell I wasn't going to wear it unless it was like the dead of winter and I needed something under a jacket. So I frogged it. Thank you to my husband for helping me, because the 5-minute job didn't take 5 minutes, as most of you know. But look at where I am.
Look at that, how it's going back to blue at the bottom.
I'm just so in love with this sweater.
This yellow, little bits of yellow coming down through. It's lovely.
So I am on my last color, and I have maybe like 40 more rows to knit.
Maybe.
And then I'm on to the sleeves. But yeah, like I don't know. I keep sending Mom pictures.
Yes. I'm loving this. I'm loving this. This is so fun. I'm going to do this again.
The coolest thing about this sweater, I think, is you can wear it inside out, very similar to the Weekender. She has these really cool raglan details. And you can see it more on the side.
Dear.
There's just little pearl bumps as you go down. Of course, I haven't woven my ends in yet. As you go down, and so you can choose to wear it inside out or right side out. And I find that the marling detail is a little bit more subtle on this side.
Yes, but it hides the busyness of it. Like it would hide your strings or your
So, and the finish on this neckline is an I-cord as well.
Oh,
I haven't done it yet.
That'll be wearing nicely.
But it will be. So I'm not sure which way I'm going to wear it. I might just decide to wear it both ways.
I think you should finish it so you can.
So I'm trying
maybe if it gets soiled on one side, just turn it inside out and wear the other side.
So I'm trying to get it done. I think the deadline is June 5th or 8th.
Oh, you got not much longer.
For this knit along that I just found out about by Pippin Pin. She's down in like the Vancouver area of British Columbia too. Hosting the knit along. So just give me some encouragement to get it done. But like I said, I guess I have been doing a lot of knitting. I haven't, but I have.
Because it was 0 before. Yeah. Like you frogged it and started again.
But I honestly, like I said, I love this project. I love this knit. I cannot say enough about it. The pattern is incredible. There's been some conversation about her not being super specific about your yardage that you need and use. I haven't had a problem.
It would be a good stash buster, though.
Great stash buster, because you can use 4 colors, you can use 5 colors, you can use 18 colors. The mathematics that she gives you on there, your stripe, your inches per stripe, your rows per inch, your et cetera, is just, I think I mentioned before, my head hurt.
It's a morning thought.
But
process.
She originally released this pattern for free. And then now it's a paid-for pattern. But yeah, I love it. I'm having so much fun, and I'm looking forward to a cool rainy walk in this one.
Yes.
Yeah.
Lovely. Good for you.
That is my whip.
Very nice. Good job, girl.
Thank you. Yes, Thank you.
So
what are you working on?
I have a couple of whips. Last time I was talking about a cardi that I was started with some really bulky yarn, and so I have progressed on that. I'll just find it in my collection of things here. This is my giant basket that I've used for my knitting needles and all this.
Like, look at that. Can I pull it out? Is it attached to something?
It's a 15 millimeter, like huge. But I've been using double pointed or circular needles. I had to go and purchase some of those.
But even show like the tube on the circulars too. Like it looks like a straw.
I'll bring it up. It's still on there. So I've accumulated a bunch of yarn through time, in time that I sort of bought some, someone gave me some, and I really didn't know what to do with it, and it was all different colors. So with Myoka's help, I have
Did you say
done
what this
a fade. I'm really not even sure what it is.
The pattern.
It's a Cardigan.
By, we wrote it down here, Tara Lynn Morrison.
Yes, and it's from, what is that called? Good Day Night.
Good Night Day.
Yeah, good night, good day.
Good night day.
So this is it here.
Oh, Mom, look at that.
I'm sorry, I'll have to stand up a little bit.
Back this up for
so it is not finished because I have decided that the other yarn that I have just doesn't go with it, and that I am going to go to my local yarn store and see what they have to finish it off, because I have to finish the bottom, it is a cropped sweater. I'm not sure how cropped I'm going to make it, and I have gradually faded them into each other. So there's going to be a couple of inches of, it's so hard to see here. A couple inches of ribbing, but I might make it a little bit longer, and then I want to do the sleeves the same. Mm-hmm. So I'm not going to use...
Are you keeping track of how many rows you're doing with each color?
So these colors I had in mind, but they're not going to do it for me, so they're going to be something else.
But you did have the one that had some of this in it, didn't you?
Yes. What I might do,
I think that would look amazing.
Is this maybe on the bottom part, but then I would want to find something else for the sleeves and use this for the sleeves. Because it changes so quickly, it's going to be really hard to fade that in how it should be. So,
Fritters and butterhorns, you podcasters.
Thank you, Garth.
I don't know if you
Later,
heard that.
mister.
For a podcast.
Later, mister. These are the knitting needles that I've used. They are huge. 15 millimeter. Holy moly. Hands were sore. Didn't do it for too long, but man, does it ever go fast.
Like, it looks like something you'd use for making wine. Like
Yes. So that's what I've been working on. So I have to go to the yarn store and get some more yarn to finish that up. So that's one of my whips.
Looks really good.
Yeah.
Is it going fairly quick other than hurting your hands?
Yeah. I don't do too much at once.
You can come forward again if you like. I moved you back.
Okay.
Hop, hop.
Watch your fingers.
I'm good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's going on. Oh, my needle pack. Watch out. So that's been work in progress. And then I did a couple of gauge swatches a little while ago. One is for this lovely pattern that Missoni accomplished. There you go.
This is a free pattern offered by Melissa of Escastrico.
Yes, and it's lovely. And I'm doing it in one color, and it's going to be short sleeve. I'm going to play a little yarn chicken. I hope I win. We'll see.
She just posted one out of their 100% linen Petite Lin Plus. And I fell in love with it. I'm not a huge fan of the chevron stripe. I was before, but I just don't think I would wear that. But after seeing that, I just like, ooh, I think I need to... Oh, you've started.
I've started. So I've got the neckline.
Sweet charm on there.
Yeah, it's just a little butterfly.
It's my dragonfly. There you go. Where'd you find that?
I'm not sure.
What?
So this is yarn that I got from Knit Crate because I really want to continue to use it.
Let's go a little bit closer.
Can you see it? It's blowing out. So
there you go.
Oh yes, there it is.
It's got some really nice speckles in it.
It's got some nice speckles in it, and it's going to be kind of a spring, fall sweater, depending on how long the sleeves are. And it's Audine wools, and it's got it's merino and tencel, which is a kind of a wood yarn. And gotta show you this. I did some knitting. I did my tension swatch on 2 different needles, so that's what it's gonna look like.
Oh,
so
really pretty.
I'm excited about that. Just something cash and able to wear that nicely.
Can you hear the birdies? They're singing.
Lovely.
There's one on the roof and there's one over on that tree, and they're singing to each other.
Oh yeah, that bird likes to sing to us quite often. It's beautiful. Yes.
Good job. So this is the neckline.
Yeah, and it's a twisted rib to start with. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to make ones.
There's 7.
Yep.
I really like that dragonfly. It's quite cute, and it matches your
Oh, it does. It wasn't the plan, but yeah, I guess it does. And I'm going to show this too. Myoka has been making bags.
We'll get into this a little bit later, but you can.
But I'm going to show it to you.
You can show that one. I can show mine, and then we'll talk about it later. This is one of the other reasons I'm not knitting, is I've been sewing a lot.
And you see inside my bag, she's got the string of pearls. Yay! So it's very nice.
It's got
a pocket.
The pockets inside. I guess you can't really see all your stuff in there. You got pockets.
There's a pocket inside.
Pockets inside.
Yeah.
A little clasp on, or we added the strap after the fact, but there's a little thing if you wanted to hook something onto it.
Mm-hmm. But
zippered bag.
I always have my hands full, so I go like this when I go anywhere, and I got extra hands.
And then you've got the boxy bottom like that. So this is the I guess I'm talking about it now. This is the Esme project bag pattern by Indigo Bird, and I'll put that up on the bottom. So that was my second or third one that I made. My first one I made, I was originally going to make it and send it off to someone that I'm friends with in France. But there was a couple little mistakes on it, a couple little things. The pockets are really far down. And I was like, oh, this is just not working out. I cannot give this away. And then the most hilarious part about it was I'm like, look, Mom, it's like riding a bike. Like once you figure out what you're doing, you know what you're doing, right? And she's like, oh, yeah. And I'm like, no, look, Mom, it's like riding a bike.
And I ride my
she
bike.
Got it.
I do.
So,
I've been riding my bike since I was a little girl, and I love it.
And
I
this
just love
one, if you want to hold the size comparison up, it's the same size bag. I just changed the, yours is bigger.
Is it?
Yeah, by about 1.5 inches. I just changed the boxy portion on the bottom. Mine's got a bigger,
wider bottom.
Wider box,
yeah.
and yours is taller and has a smaller box. So
minor adjustments. But they're fun to do.
Little details inside. So, I don't know. Is there interest for project bags out there? Maybe we'll start a little something.
And if you're interested, can whip up a few and send them your way.
From the Studio.
Woohoo! Yeah, and I want to make a few of those notion pouches too, because I've got some small zippers that would be perfect for that.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, and there's something else we've been thinking about. We'll share with you in the future.
We have some things in the works because the love of fabric and sewing and whatnot is not as great as knitting for me, but it's definitely there, and you'll appreciate that stuff. And to make things that you can use while you're knitting and give away and pass on and stuff like that.
Yeah, so. and Grandma, my mom is she loves her quilting, and she's an machine embroiderer, and we have a huge fabric stash, so we really want to put that to good use. So, and I don't know,
and I think we might have mentioned it in one of the previous episodes that you were on, but Mom, Linda, is a seamstress. So my whole life growing up, she sewed for everybody, fixed hems, zippers. You actually sewed a couple you're doing grad dresses right now.
I'm altering a few grad dresses, yes.
My whole life, I don't think I've bought something that didn't need a new button or something like that. See a discount on it, right? And I'd bring it home, Mom would fix it or take it in or hem it or whatever. So I had no reason to sew because she did for me.
Yes, but now she's sewing. I am impressed. But something that happened that is really funny. I have 3 girls, and I sewed for all of them, and I sewed partly for originality and also to help our budget. So, and I was home, and that was part of my looking after the family, gardening and all that, and sewing. So I would sew for the girls, and then I asked them later as they got to be adults, I said, well, did you really enjoy the clothing that I made for you? And they said, well, no, we were really interested in ready-made clothes, Mom, because you used to sew all of ours, so we wanted the others. Like, oh, well. Now it's a combination of both.
But now as an adult and understanding a me-made or a homemade thing, I appreciate it a lot more, and I appreciate the time and effort that she went into. Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah. We can cut you out, you know that, right?
Yeah, we can cut you out, Garth.
Like I can just clip it and then go and start again. Like this isn't even going to be in there.
Yeah, so.
How about some borscht for lunch in an hour or so?
It's made.
I know.
Yeah.
What?
Okay, you just have to keep your, you just go and just do your thing and we'll do ours.
Yeah.
We won't be that much longer. We got some more things to share. Okay.
Me and Copper have a fritter.
He better not be having fritter.
Right, Copper?
But yeah, I definitely feel that I have more respect for what you did and what you sewed. And I think do you still have my red sunflower dress?
It is.
Yeah.
I still do.
Yes, I do. I have a picture of myself wearing this red sunflower dress that Mom made me. And I am holding up fish because I had just gotten back from fishing with my cousin. I am in gumboots. And
yes.
What is happening?
Oh, you see this little stuff coming down here? It's the mountain ash tree.
My dad's just throwing confetti in our face now.
No, there's petals from the mountain ash tree, and it looks like snow sometimes. Yeah. So if you see that going by, no, it's not snowing.
Thank goodness.
We would be shivering if it was, but I wouldn't be surprised if we would get a few flakes still before the spring is over. Anyways, I'm fondling this lovely, lovely piece of tension swatch,
I'm so
a gauge swatch.
Look at your gauges.
So I learned something new. Actually, a couple things new. This I did a tension swatch, and I'm doing it in the round. So you will see all these strings hanging down,
which is recommended if you are knitting your garment in the round.
So what you do is you knit across, and then you put your stitches back on the beginning of your circular needle, and you leave this bunch of yarn. No, stop. And then you start knitting again so that you can have your tension in the round. It's a little bit awkward in the beginning and the end because it's very loose, but it's very helpful when you're doing in the round. You get a more accurate stitch count and stuff. So this is yarn from Amanda from my skein of mine, and it's called Sweet Child of Mine. And so I am going to be making a
rocket tee
from Tanis Fiber Arts.
We're loving Tanis right now.
She's great.
Good. And her and her husband have a podcast. Have you watched it?
No, I haven't.
Her and her husband Chris have a podcast, and their kids they're adorable. I love it.
Yeah, so that's it, and it's going to be just in the one color. I've been really coveting the what is it called? The Felix pullover, but it takes a larger weight of yarn to do that one. So I thought, if I do the math and really figure it out, maybe I can add that lace work that's on the Felix pullover that's on the side to this tee, but no promises.
In the
increases.
raglan?
Yeah, in the raglan. So you can see where...
Tanis is actually, she's really fond of the raglan details on her sleeves and whatnot. Mm-hmm. And this tee is actually held with a fingering and then striped after, which is held mohair back and forth, back and forth. But there's so many different versions that everyone's doing right now to do all one color, two different mohair fingering, and you're just doing all just of this yarn because and this just makes me smile so much because it's got that bright color. I'm just thinking in spring when winter is just about done and spring's not quite here. Yeah. Pop this on, it'll feel like sunshine. And you rock those colors in the rocket tee.
Yeah,
look at
there
that.
You go.
I know we talk about Amanda at probably almost every podcast, but I truly love her. I feel like I have known her for a long time. She was one of my very first Fiber Share partners, and she sent me the most generous, incredible package, and she's actually in New Brunswick in Canada, and she happens to be a hand dyer, indie dyer, I guess you could say, and her colors, I'm actually going to pull one up. I'll give this back to you.
Thank you.
Sweet Skein of Mine on Instagram. Her colors that she does are just, oh man.
Incredible. Yeah, they are just beautiful.
I hope this shows. This is Old Tin Roof.
Isn't that awesome? Those colors together.
Imagine a rocket tee and that.
Excuse me.
Oh, and she's got some really cool mohair. She's got her, what she calls her, sweet slubby base. Go this way.
Oh, something else there.
Oh, that's the... Yeah, she, I love her. Hi, Amanda. We love you. And I am actually
thank you.
Anxiously awaiting. We have a package coming from Miss Amanda. I'll explain a little bit later about that, but I think the tracking, we're waiting for a package from her, and she's waiting for a package from me, and there's actually from us.
Yes,
there's some prizes in there, and it's really fun to watch Canada Post where it is. But the crazy thing is, I sent something to Ireland.
Did you?
I did.
Yes.
I sent something to Ireland, and it got there in like 4 or 5 days.
What?
And I sent it the same day Amanda's is, and she's in New Brunswick, Canada, and hers is still not expected till later this week.
Great.
I thought that was amazing. So apparently, Amanda, you need to move to Ireland to get your package faster.
No, don't. No, don't.
That's funny.
Well, I have something else which is not knitting related.
I have one more knitting thing to show you, though. I do.
You?
So I am very, very good at making whips sleep. And it's not, like, again, it's not because I don't...
Just things like works in progress will not have progress unless you progress them.
Works in progress. Yeah.
So
I don't know.
They don't mind waiting for you.
I don't like frogging things. I feel like if I've taken the time to create something and I've knit to a certain point, that at some point it needs to come to fruition. And if I get bored with it, it's a lot of work. I take my time and I get distracted as I'm knitting something. I get distracted and knit something else. But this may be frogged.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
have you seen this? I think I've seen the yarn, but I haven't seen the knitting.
So one thing when I do put stuff away, I put like a little tag on it. This is a US 5 that I did because of course you need your needle. So this is the Banana Leaf Shawl by Yuki Veda, and it's knit in the petite linen and flax from Espastico. So if there you can see the detail. I'm gonna hold the other side up.
Mm-hmm. Oh my goodness, look at that.
Banana leaf shawl. Oh. So the veins of your knitting are, you can really see the vein. So I really, really like this a lot. I do. I love the pattern. I fell in love with it. I'm very much a plant person. I am very much a, artwork, anything like that. So I won't wear it.
You won't wear it?
I won't wear it. I will not wear a shawl, I don't think, that is like this.
Because of the lightness of it?
Just the lightness of it. I started knitting it 2 years ago, July. I actually knit it when we went to the island.
Oh.
I was sitting and watching whales.
I remember, yes.
Yeah, yes. And I was knitting this, and I have a couple cool photos of it. But
that's a wonderful memory, though.
Yeah, and so I'm not too sure. Yeah, I think I'm going to frog it because I have 2 skeins of this deep purple. Here, I have the tag right here.
What would you make with it instead, though?
This is a Spastico Petite Lin, 100% linen, made in Lithuania. And this is the colorway Talon. I think. Marjon Talon? Sure.
Mm-hmm.
So, because I really like this pattern and this design, I think I want to find like a green linen.
Oh, to make it look more like a leaf.
To actually make something to this stage.
Yeah.
And then get a really cool piece of driftwood or something and attach it to that, steam it out really nice, attach it to that, and hang it on a wall.
Ooh.
Because I love this pattern. I really do. I love the way that this looks. I wouldn't do it in this purple. I'll frog this stage because there's actually quite a few mistakes in it. But I would like to knit a piece in this design just at that point and have a nice piece of... There's more dad noise in the background.
Yeah, he needs to...
He's fine. He's fine. And so I will...
Industrious man.
You're doing a good job, Dad. I will do that and then have it on the wall. I think that would be So I would like to create that and put it on something and have it on the wall. I think that would be...
Yes, and I was thinking too, if you were to have your green part knit to this stage, and then this part, and attach it with driftwood in the middle, or attach it, then you would have two colors.
I'm going to frog this.
Yeah.
Because I want to use this yarn for something else. Like I said, I have two big balls of it still.
The tea.
It could be rocket. Yeah.
Ooh.
Or even, because she did her Missoni Accomplished in the Petite Ligne Plus, which is more of a, this is lace weight versus the other one's different.
Yeah.
So I have something planned for the yarn. I don't know yet what it is. I think that this pattern is beautiful. It is... Yeah.
It is lovely, and it's so dainty, and and the yarn.
I just don't think I know I wouldn't wear it as a shawl like I had originally planned to. That's for my apron.
Okay. Yeah. A thread in there too. What's going on?
Only so many hands when you're coming over here. So yeah, that is my banana leaf shawl. I think that looks like a leaf.
It does.
It's amazing.
It's gorgeous. And to have that on the wall, you could see the color. What is it called?
So I think that's the plan for that. I'm going to find some nice green linen, and I might have to order more of this from Miss Fastry Co. to do what I want to do with it. And I'll just order some green at that time. And
Good.
So a sleeping whip that is going to get frogged.
So what do you have it in, though?
Oh.
What is your frogged item living in?
A really heavy-duty protecting bag. No, this is a handmade by Linda bag. This is one of your scrappy ones, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it's got a drawstring top. Sorry.
Drawstring me.
I did not hit her. A drawstring top, and it's one of my awesome bags that...
Oh, it's a birthday present, was it?
I think so.
I think so, yeah.
I was going to say, I use it a lot, but it sits in my craft room like this, so I admire it, and I know exactly what's inside it. Yeah, some more sewing and stuff. But other than that, that's all my knitting that I have, and I don't know... I would like to make something maybe like this in
with that
linen, or a rocket, or something. There is a couple really nice summer linen tees and stuff like that.
And because it's so light and lace weight, you almost have to wear something under it, depending on what it is.
The other one I was thinking too was I've seen a couple ranunculus in linen, and the ranunculus is still one of those ones that I need to do.
That would be awesome.
So I should check out my yardage because you would actually need to wear something under the ranunculus anyway because of the detail with the linen. I mean, I wear a tank underneath what I wear most of the time anyway.
That would be lovely. Ooh.
So stay tuned.
Consider
any
that.
ideas, any suggestions? And I've made up my mind I am frogging that. So, but I will knit something in a green or a black or like a deep gray-green color
with that
to hang on the wall.
Yeah.
Because I think that is beautiful, and I really do love it still. What else have you got?
I have something creative. I was inspired a little bit by Sandy by the Lakeside with her journaling. I was on an online class called Sketchbook Revival with Karen Aubin. And there was a whole bunch of different artists that give a little bit of a demonstration and encouragement to create art daily. It's art inspiration. So on the first one, there was a gal, her name is Callie, and she showed how to make a book. So here I am. I made a book. So what this is a book, an old book that I took the pages out of. And like cut it right at here, took the pages out of, and put some what they're called signatures. Each of these is called a signature when you add them in a book like this. So I got a whole bunch of pages. I did some gessoing on the front, and I just love it. I love the colors, And I just had fun with it. There's texture and stuff on there. I'll just show you a few pages.
Oh, those are just
there's some, I'll just show a few. First of all, there is some that I've just drawn my lunch. This is fabric in here.
Oops.
Different pages.
Trying to get that up there better.
Yeah. This one here was a walk I went on, and I decided to do a little bit of painting and sketching a little bit of that, of some of the things I saw that day. There is a tapioca starch bag that I put in there that I'm going to be doing something on, and it was just, it's interesting. And then, of course, in a magazine, there's some food. What else have I got here? There's another day that I went for a walk and said all these different things. There's my socks. Right there's my socks. So that was fun and just interesting things, and a quick sketch of all of those. And another lady that I
look at your
took
owl.
a class on is that, what is it called? A happy bird?
Owl.
A quirky bird is what it is. And I can't remember the name of the lady that did that. But it was just fun, just play.
Queen of Hearts owl.
And what else have I got here? And one day I was, there's a receipt in here. Whoops, the wrong way.
It's backwards, that's why.
I know. Yeah. There's a receipt in here from a pair of shoes that I got a few years ago, and I stuck that in there, and I thought, okay, well, I'll just put my little pansies on there. This was another piece of art that I did about hearts, and I just wrote a little something down here. And I looked through magazines and see some different things in magazines. So there's this lovely one here of this very nice looking gentleman. And he's redhead, and I thought, not too often do you see redheads. So there's part of him. He's beautiful. I just thought that was great. So I've been having fun with that, and just writing in there. There's an envelope in the back that I can put some things in as I go along. So that's what I've been doing, playing with that. And I go in my she shed and hang out there with my paints and ideas and things.
Scorching hot in there.
Well, yeah, it's getting pretty hot in there. So that's what I've been doing. Of course, growing in the garden. The garden looks fantastic.
We've been enjoying radish, spinach, a whole bunch of herbs.
Lettuce.
Lettuce. Yeah, we had a big lettuce salad. A lot of local farmers around here are starting to have their produce available too, so that's really good. We had potatoes, carrots, and onion from a local farm last night.
Oh,
we had
nice.
like a foil packet. Yeah, it was really tasty.
That's good. Well, also I've been working on a few grad dresses, like I said, and helping out those grads. The grads are not actually having their initial celebration and walk across the stage and all that. Our little town here is having a grad parade.
Yeah.
So the grads are going to go on flat decks, trucks, and the back of vehicles, I would think. And there's going to be whoever wants to go and appreciate them and honor them for achieving their 12 years plus of school, to just wave and honk at them and just appreciate them. So that's happening for them. So at least they have recognition for all their hard work.
Yeah.
And good on you, grads, and all the students that are working so hard to get their schoolwork done through the COVID problems and through online, and just keep on going for it and doing it. It will pay off. So congratulations, grads, and all students.
Well, it's interesting because a lot of the grads, they would have their dresses already. They have like a very formal gown, and you have to get it in advance. So sometimes it has to be ordered in or whatnot. So a lot of them have their dresses, and to not be able to wear that is saddening.
Yes.
One thing I actually heard, now that you say that, working hard to get school done, I was listening to a podcast the other day with Dak Shepard, an audio podcast, this armchair expert. I can't remember who he was interviewing. I can put it on the bottom here. And they were talking about the difference that COVID was making in universities and colleges and stuff. I believe she's a teacher of happiness something at Yale. And she was talking about how everything is transferred to online, and instead of a grade system, they are now working on like a pass or fail system, which when we went to college, we had to have a 70% chance or 70% percentage to pass. That was our passing. And then when we wrote our registration board exams, we got a thing in the mail that said you passed or you failed. You did not know your percentage whatsoever. And it was daunting to not know how did I do? Did I get 90 something? Did I get 80 something? Was it like 71%? And so they talked about that a little bit, and how a lot of parents are really upset with this pass or fail grade now. that they are taking out the grades because a lot of kids try and up their percent to average, GPA, whatever, for their bachelor's or whatever they're continuing on to.
Mm-hmm.
And she said, do you know where the grade system actually came from? And of course, Dax didn't. I didn't. I was painting at the time. And so do you know where it came from?
No, I don't.
So it actually originated that a teacher did it so that he could tell whether or not he was doing a good job teaching. So he graded his students on how they were learning and on what they knew so that he could know how he was doing as a teacher.
Oh.
And how he could better improve and what areas he could improve on to help his students learn more. Now, isn't that interesting how it has changed
to the students?
And they're saying that students, instead of having just a pass or fail, they are now striving to have that A+ grade average or this or that or whatever, and how some students, it takes out the learning process. And I know for me personally, there's a couple different things in college where I learned it, to pass it, and then I dumped it because I just knew I needed to get to this certain percentage, and that was it, right? It took out the enthusiasm of actually learning that specific thing. And I say that lightly, obviously. It was not a really important thing, so massage therapy. But it was, hi, Copper. I just think it's very interesting how it changes the mentality of the student, changes the mentality of the parents behind that student, and how it originated. And I think if any teachers out there don't know this, I'm not a teacher, obviously, but if you look at it that way, because everyone learns in their own way, obviously, but if you look at it that way of how am I doing as a teacher? If this student is failing, I mean, of course, it's 50-50%. You have to show up to the class. You have to put your time and your energy and your effort into it. But it's also the teacher as well. So in a way, not that you're failing as a teacher, but how can I better myself as a teacher?
Especially for each student.
To increase this grade point average across the average of our class. And then those specific students, maybe that is how they do it, and I'm just blowing smoke right now. But I just thought it was really, really interesting to hear that actually originated with a teacher, and he wanted to know how he was doing and grade himself, and it didn't even get given to the students at that time.
Wow, that is interesting.
Yeah. So, and just how things are changing, of course, with the universities and stuff like that. And yeah. And if you are someone who is in a learning situation or a teaching or whatnot, I give you my respect and everything that you're going through, because I know that it is a difficult time to navigate all that.
And teach and have your students learn. And when things settle and things get back to whatever new normal is, how that's going to be, each of the children are going to be at different, maybe in the same grade, but at different levels of learning each of those subjects. So it's a difficult time that we're going through. So, and people are analyzing and thinking about things a lot differently than we have in the past, including myself. And so it's going to be interesting how life goes on. So never boring.
Just find what works for you, right? I know some people that are homeschooling their kids are loving it. They think it's the best thing ever. They don't know they want their kids to go back to school. Of course, they have Zoom meetings and aid from the teachers as well. And then there's some people that are like, nope, my kids need to go back to school. I am not good at this. I'm not your teacher.
And that's
I am doing my children a disservice. And I think it is okay to admit to that.
Yes,
and it is okay to do the best that you can do and then say that that's it. Because that's why we have the education system. Because I know I could not teach mathematics to anybody.
And everyone has different strengths and weaknesses. And if your strength is teaching your children, great. If it isn't, your strength's in other ways. And don't beat yourself up.
No, absolutely.
Just do your best.
Absolutely.
And we all have bad days, moms and dads. So that's okay. Tomorrow's a new day. Start again.
That was a tangent. But
it was.
I have...
Oh, I just wanted to talk a little bit. Oh, are you going to do that? Yeah.
No, you go ahead. You go ahead. I'll do this
again. I have a birthday coming up, and my husband has the same date birthday.
Yes.
He's way older than me.
June 7th.
June 7th, apart. So yay.
Yeah.
So we're planning to go camping, and we made reservations because at the provincial campsite here in our area. And after we made those reservations, it was like, yay, I'm going camping, yay!
And of course, everyone's allowed to go camping the week that I go back to work.
Yes. June 1st is today is the first day that you can go back camping. And we do have some reservations. reserving campsites in some of the provincial campsites, and some are first come, first serve. And so, we're going not too far away to the Arrow Lakes, and I'm really excited just to get away. So it'll be fun.
And you're going for how many days?
3.
3 days.
3's enough for starts.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. So, So what have you got going on? What have you been doing, girl? I know what you've been doing.
You know what I've been doing.
Should I step over here and...
You can go. Yeah. Do you want this one or do you want yours?
Whichever one.
I'll show this one. You can put yours on.
Okay.
Okay.
You go ahead.
So, I wanted an apron. I wanted an apron for myself, and I've been doing a lot of cooking and baking and gardening and whatnot. And Miss Sweet Gaina, hi Sweet Gaina, she's always fashioning off her pinnies. She calls them pinnies, or aprons that we call them. And she's in the garden and she's cooking and she's doing this and she's just wiping her hands on it. And I just thought, I need that because I don't want to get my clothes dirty if I'm in the garden. I've got flour all over myself, whatnot. So she suggested a couple different apron patterns, and I grabbed one of them, and I grabbed some linen. Thank goodness our local, just a second, not yet, our local fabric store was open. Thank you so much, Fabricland in Vernon. And I got some linen, and I made one for myself, and I posted it on my personal Instagram. And before I know it, it was right before Mother's Day, and I had this huge influx of people wanting aprons. So I was like, yeah, sure, I'll go get more fabric, whatever. So I got some more linen, and next thing you know, Mother's Day comes around, I'd made 8 for other people. Like, I've made myself 1, so there's 9. I've sewn 8 for other people, sold them as well. And then I thought, well, Mom needs one. So
yes, I do.
Made one for Mom.
And here I am with my apron.
Woohoo! Hey, you just stay there and I'll wiggle this up and down. Stand normal. Yeah, there you go.
My pocket. We usually have something in there.
Yeah, and then you want to turn around?
Yes.
Just turn all the way. I'll adjust you.
Thanks.
So it's got this beautiful cross-back apron. Can you come towards me just a little bit? There you go. That's up. That's down. There you go. Beautiful cross-back apron. Really nice and light. This is 100% linen. Go ahead and turn around again.
And it goes long, like all the way down to my knees. There's my knee.
And then turn to the side for me. Oh, what a fantastic model I have.
Woohoo!
Oh, okay. What are you doing in your apron? And then it goes around the side here, so you can just go ahead and wipe your hand.
Oh, yeah, and I noticed
there's space.
There is some stuff.
Yeah. There you go. There you go.
It is. And it's lovely, and it's comfortable, and it's not tight. And
I suddenly have an apron business.
Yeah.
I took it because I am not working right now. I'm coming back to work, but I wasn't working. I needed a little bit to supplement some income. I needed something to keep myself busy, and I have made. Guess how many aprons I have made?
It's in the double digits, I know.
32.
Oh. Really?
Yeah, I've made 32 aprons. So I've given away several. My sister-in-law, one of my really good friends, my mother-in-law, Matt's dad's girlfriend, Mom. So I've made several for others as well, but I've also sold quite a few. One of the coolest things about this space and this network is Gaina on Tales of Cuckoo Land shared her apron, and that I'm making one for her.
Lovely.
And I am so excited that I'm making one for her, and she's asked me to hold it because their postage system is a little bit wonky right now. So I'm going to send that off in a little bit. So there's one going to her, and she's in UK.
UK, yeah.
There is one, like we just mentioned, it went to Ireland.
Yes.
Ireland.
Yeah.
There's one going to Amanda, sweet skein of mine in New Brunswick. I have one going to France. Where else? I've gone to the States. We've gone to Chickasha, Wisconsin.
Mm-hmm.
Long Beach, California.
Wow.
Manitoba, Alberta, Prince George, Kelowna. Kind of all over the place. And I just think it's one of the absolute coolest things that I could be doing right now. And just one of the little details that I put on there is a little leather tag. And it says Handmade with Love by Myoka. And I can link the Etsy shop that I got these from. It's really nice thin leather.
I just want to say my apron that Myoka made has kind of got an unusual
it's a
ripple to it.
Wrinkled
Lincoln? Linen.
Wrinkled linen. And this is a different one.
That's a different one.
So I was able to source some linen just because Fabricon was running a little bit low and I wanted to get a larger quantity at once of the same color. I sourced some linen from a company in Ontario, actually. And it's just a little bit, it's different. It's a little bit more of a sheer,
Yeah, and it's not so see-through.
Yes.
This one's see-through.
It's still very light. And so I have quite a few colors available. This is sold out at this point, but I do have a really nice silver gray that I still have available, and I actually have some to sew today at Mom's. And the reason I'm sewing at Mom's is because the clip in the beginning of me sewing is the very last time that machine worked.
And that machine is very old, and so I'm surprised that many aprons were done.
3000. That was a friend of ours, a good friend of ours, and it died. And So I have some colors available, and I'm doing my best to still fill orders. And of course, I bought a bunch of fabric, so I would like to use that fabric and sell a few more aprons. I'm not doing an Etsy site just because this is not going to be a full-time gig for me at this moment. Although 32 aprons, I mean,
that's a lot.
So if you are interested in ordering one, I can put a few pictures up as well of the colors that I have available and just the aprons on Mom's Betty Body dress form.
Call her Betty Body.
Yeah, and I'll just link my email at the bottom here. Pop me an email. I can go with some information that way to you. And I just need information like your full name, address, etc., and the color that you like. And then I ship it off, and I can accept payment via PayPal. And if you're local, of course, like a pickup or a e-transfer, easy too. So thank you to everybody who has found us via Gina and aprons and whatnot. It's just, there's that street sweeper again, but it's I'm
special community
so
to sharing things like this and encouraging others and helping out.
And I don't know, we've talked about maybe opening an Etsy shop at some point and listing some bags. Would you be interested in some bags? Some do you have your DPN sock holder?
I don't know.
No, we have like a few things that we've created and made and really enjoyed doing that, and aprons, etc. So I'm not too sure if it's going to be an Etsy site or not, because I know Etsy does take a percentage off the top of that and then the shipping and whatnot. So we're just trying to do it the best way possible for us.
Yes.
But let us know. Are you interested in some of that? I think it was a String of Pearls studio. The studio of String of Pearls. I don't know.
Yes, and my sewing business has been called Linda's So What.
Yes.
So what would you like us to make at the studio?
What would you be interested in, if at all? And not even that we need a profit from a ton of things, but it's bags take a little bit more, so they would be a little bit more pricey. But
they would be in a
reasonable.
Yeah.
It's fun. It's a way to create and sew. And as I was sewing aprons, like one after another, I'm like, I could be knitting. Like, what am I doing?
Yeah, and something that you think about, if you have those works in progress that sort of they could hide in a beautiful project bag.
Okay, Copper, you're gonna knock the computer.
Come sit down.
There's a Copper dog again.
Sit. Good boy.
So, that's what I've been working on. Like I said, pop me an email if you are interested. I have a few more available, and I really would love to be a part of your knitting project bag, sewing, gardening, apron, etc. So, and the pattern that I'm using for the bag is the Indigo Bird Esme bag. I will put that there as well. And she has a few different options on her Etsy site, and she's had a really detailed pictures and tutorial of how to make that bag. So,
and the bags that I make really don't have a pattern. I just
Mom makes
do
her
them.
own.
Yeah, I can just do them. And
the first
Myoka's
zipper I've ever sewn.
I didn't even know it was her
learning
first
to ride
zipper.
a bicycle.
We made a mistake.
I didn't know what I was doing.
Well, I thought I had it right, but she was going ahead without me. So.
No,
it's her fault.
I sewed it and I opened it up and all the ends were sticking up this way instead of neatly being. I'm just like, Mom, there's something about this that is not right. It was funny. We had a good laugh, and that is why the Learning to Ride a Bicycle bag is mine and forever will be a good laugh about that project. So,
good job.
Yeah, I think that's all I have to say.
Yeah. So we hope you're all doing well and knitting, enjoying life to the fullest, enjoying family when you can, and just enjoying.
Yes.
Yes. Knitting, creating.
Yeah. I did want to say too that I went back and replied to a whole bunch of different comments last night and the day before. Thank yous. Yeah. There were so many touching comments on there. Everyone they said they found us relaxing and enjoyed what we were putting out, and I'm really happy for that because this is fun for us.
It is fun.
As I was going through the comments, I said to Mom, I really want a podcast.
Yes.
I want a podcast tomorrow. And it's really neat to connect in this way. So thank you for that. Thank you for being here. And those likes and subscribes and sharing with your other knitters that we are here just helps to grow our community that little bit more. And like I said, we have our Ravelry group, so pop over there if you have any questions or want to start a topic about comments about anything. Thank you. We love that you are there for us.
I'll try a little bit more to put projects and things on Ravelry, and
we'll make sure the ones that you have here are up there.
Put them on there, so you can see.
Definitely.
So if you want to get a nice warm wrap, this is the one. Thank you, Hoi.
Hoi, yay! Thank you, and have a wonderful rest of your day or
and
evening.
Happy June 1st
it's
today.
June 1st today.
Yeah, can you believe that?
Wow.
So.
Cool.
Enjoy summer if it's that season in where you live, and if not, stay warm.
Signing off. Thanks, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye.